Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So a couple of things, if you guys can like and subscribe, that would help a lot. The channel's been growing really fast and I want you guys to be part of my journey to the airlines. I think I just came across this video 2 or 3 days ago and it's by Edward Fryer. And this honestly is one of the most insane catastrophic engine failure videos I've ever seen. Very rarely do we get video like this on engine failures, but I mean, we'll watch this together and then we'll talk about it a little bit, and I kind of want to introduce the impossible turn into the conversation a little bit, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, Edward, thank you for the video, and I'll go ahead and link it below.
The engine, the wrong handle. As I begin rolling down the runway, I checked the engine management computer and noticed that all the temperatures and pressures are in the green.
This is weird because I'm not saying it's weird he's doing it. Sometimes I fly with people and they don't even look at their airspeed indicator, temperature, CHT, nothing like that. They don't call out their airspeeds in the green, RPMs in the green, nothing. I'm like, are you gonna look at that? Because I've had a couple of times where I would start to rotate. I would start my ground roll and I'm just not getting the power that I want. So I either most of the time I just abort the takeoff if I'm suspicious of something. This is good that he's doing this. I like this a lot.
RPMs are almost 2,700. And the manifold pressure is at 35, 36 inches. So let's go flying.
See how he's constantly analyzing his instruments? I don't know about you guys, but that's what I do too.
I reduce the manifold pressure to 30 inches and start to reduce the RPMs to 2,500 by adjusting the propeller. By adjusting the propeller.
That was funny there because he's like adjusting the propeller and then he was twisting out the mixture. And I was like, wait, that looks red to me.
Now this is precisely what you should not try and do, but I was at an altitude that I would already be in my crosswind turn, so I decided to head back to the airport. I put the gear down and hope I just make the field. I notice I'm getting slow, so I push the nose down.
Prop is full stop.
I'm good. Holy crap.
Wow, the way that this guy handled this was so good. Holy crap, that prop is not spinning out. So this is okay. Let's watch this video back again. I'm not going to talk about what actually happened to his engine. I kind of want to introduce into the conversation the impossible turn, because this has been like a controversial subject since I've started my training. I have some people who have said that they would never do it and that they'd always land in the field. I've had some people say that if I'm 1,000 feet above the ground, then I'll do it. If I'm below 1,000 feet AGL, I'm not going to do it. Some people say I'll only do it if I climb out of VX. I'm not going to do it. I've heard it all. This is apparently a very controversial opinion, or a very controversial thing. So I want to know what you guys think. If you were in this guy's situation and you had an engine failure like this, but look at the environment. I mean, this is just suburbia. This guy has probably very few places to land. So it's like, what are you to do at this point? Are you going to land it in someone's home? Or are you going to try to make it back to the runway? You see what I mean? He probably considered that. He's probably flown here a bunch of times.
Now this is precise.
And this guy does not hesitate at all. Does not hesitate. Instantly starts turning back to the runway.
Which you should not try and do.
And had he hesitated for only 3 seconds longer, I don't think he would have made the runway.
But I was
Or maybe even 5 seconds.
at an altitude that I would already be in my crosswind turn,
Gear is already coming up.
so I decided to head back to the
He's already putting that nose down and getting that bank in there.
airport.
Because I think, you know, what gets people is that when they lose that engine power, right, they start getting slow and they don't put that nose down to keep that speed high and they get into a stall spin.
Put the gear down
So this guy instinctually puts the nose down.
and hope I just make the field.
And you could, I'd imagine, like, I don't want you guys to think I've ever been in this scenario before, but this is like basic aerodynamics. Put the nose down, gain that speed, and use that energy to get you back to the runway if you are going to do this.
I notice I'm getting slow, so I push the nose down.
And when I was watching this right here, I was actually worried that he wasn't going to make it. Crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So what would you guys do if you're in this situation? I genuinely want to start a conversation about this, because this has been something that my students have been asking me, and they ask me questions about the impossible turn, if I would do it. And I practiced this with my old CFI last year, and we are above 1,000 feet AGL, and I made the runway no problem. But I also was, I don't know, I almost feel like I want to figure out how I can safely try this again. I'd imagine that if you just keep the nose down, get that bank angle in, turn towards the runway, make sure you don't get slow, you could do it safely, but to what altitude? You know what I mean? And I'd imagine it depends on your atmospheric conditions. It looks like it's a cold day. He's wearing a sweater, so you know he's got that to his advantage, right? He's got a lower density altitude. I bet you where I live on a really, really hot day, I don't think you're going to get away with doing this. But this guy, his recovery from this is so calculated. It's so well done. When I first watched, I was shocked at how quick he responded. And then it makes you just think, if you were in this situation, how quick would you respond? What would you start doing? Would you start troubleshooting? Would you instantly put the nose down and turning back to the runway? Would you take it down in a field? And this guy didn't really have anywhere to land. You know, if you look back at this video on climb out and stuff like that, like, there's not a whole lot going on here. These are all suburbs. As far as my eye can see, I maybe see some fields over here.
To reduce the RPMs to 2,500 by adjusting the propeller.
But absolutely crazy. And then he shows the damage here. Ooh, let's see this. The adrenaline struck eyes. Man, this guy is lucky. I don't even say lucky. That's not even fair to say. This guy is good.
Needless to say, it's going to be a while before 3 Alpha Tango is back in the air.
I've heard of people having really, really close calls like this, and they're actually traumatized, some of them. I had a friend of mine who owned a Cessna, and he actually crashed in a plane in the Treasure Valley, and he says that now every time he goes up, he always thinks about when the next crash is going to happen. It's just always in his mind now, because that experience was so visceral, so close to death, that how could you not? You know, it's just a natural human reaction. And I've had a close call too with fouled spark plugs and loss of engine power on rotation, and that scared me. And every time I rotate now, my eyes are, you know, in my usual scam, but extra emphasis on the RPMs, and I'm always listening now. And you know, that wasn't even bad compared to some of this stuff.
Subscribe to the channel to find out how we deal with this.
Absolutely, this guy is like, I got a story to tell. Let's watch his flight path. Wow, God, this is a work of art. Look at this turn. That is an absolutely perfect turn. Oh, I see. So it looks like he departed runway 30. Yeah, because he made a left turn, so he departed runway 30. He came back. And I thought he used 12. I was wondering why that runway came up so quick. He used 08. Wow. That's okay. So that makes sense. Excuse me, guys. Because at my airport, you know, it's just one runway like this. So you would have to go out like this, come back in, This guy had this to his advantage. This is why he could put the nose down and build his airspeed up, because he could use 0.8 to his advantage because it's offset. Man, that just makes this discussion even more interesting then. Oh, catastrophic. Wow, that is definitely catastrophic. For any mechanics watching this, how does this happen? It's crazy. It's crazy how fast the engine can go out. Okay, a couple of things that I want to talk about in here. Let's start a discussion about the impossible turn, if you guys would do it, when you guys would do it, if you guys have trained for it, if you found success. Is this completely off limits for you? What are your limitations with the impossible turn? And also, if you're a mechanic, I'd like to know your opinion on this too, and how you could prevent this, if you even can. But guys, I appreciate you watching. If you like the channel, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one.